Let's see how this does. What's going on, guys? It's been a while. Boy, is it hot. Give you guys a second to tune in. Hope everybody's having a good Monday. Happy Columbus Day. I'm not using my camera file live this time, so hey PD, how's it going? So I don't know how this is going to turn out. Usually I rely on camera file live because it seems to not kick out as much. Just got here. I was actually going to pre-record a video for bank fishing tips series, but I forgot the SD card to my GoPro, and there's really no place to put good multiple stationary camera angles here, so I think I missed one. Brandon, what's going on? So I figured, screw it, I'll just go live. Maybe you guys can see me catch something while I'm here, and I'll give you some of my bank fishing tips while we're live instead of pre-recording it. Save me some editing time. So if anybody doesn't know where I'm at, this is the Great Miami River. We're in Hamilton, Ohio. Is you gonna catch a big one live? I hope so. We're at a brand new spot. I have never been here before, so I don't know what we're gonna get. I was gonna talk about how to find new bank fishing spots using Google Maps or Google Earth or any map app where you can get a satellite view. And I sit at home and I literally just comb my area. I'm about 15 minutes from my house, and I've never been here before. I didn't know this existed. I can show you later what it took to get down here. There's a big, huge, steepest hill I've ever been down. It's pretty dangerous. I probably shouldn't have did it. But we got down here. It's hot. I'm wearing black. And this is Whisker Sticks Fishing. So, what are we using for bait? We're going to be using cut crappie, cut bluegill, and I got one huge giant cut shad that we're going to cut up. I might try to cast net here if I think it'll be safe to throw a net. There's tons of rocks and rebar and stuff all over the place, so I might snag all day, but we don't know yet. They are calling for almost 90 in October. Yeah, this is crazy. I remember when I was a little kid, we had 6 inches of snow on Halloween. We were trick-or-treating in the snow. Well, let me get some baits out. I brought a little bit of everything, so I didn't know what I was getting into. I brought my river rodders in case I needed a rod holder, but there's tons of rocks everywhere, so I'm not going to use them. I'll just set them in between some rocks. Got some bait. I brought my cast net in case I need it. I got pretty much every bank fishing essential I need here in my tackle bag backpack. And I got some cold Mountain Dew. You can't go wrong with it. So I'm going to put an extra 2 ounces on this one because it's only got 2 ounces, and then we're going to bait up. And then I'll show you what we're using. Sorry if the camera angle sucks. There's just really not much of a place to put it. I'll get the phone out here in a second if it'll stay focused. I'll switch camera views and let you guys see what we're looking at here in a minute. First, we got to get some bait out. I got to remember where all my stuff is. Got a bait knife. This is actually it's John Liberty's knife. I got to give it back to him. He forgot it when he came down here for that Labor Day trip. I don't want to be like Luke Hedges and get behind on 5,000 comments. Jim, what's going on? Scotty Hill, Charlene, PD. Okay, everybody's talking. All right, we cut some bait up. We'll try the shad first. go ahead and use this guy up so he don't go to waste while he's nice and fresh. Alright, now when I hook my chunks, I actually go through the gut pocket. I don't go through the top. I try to get the hook into a bunch of those guts and then out that belly rib there. There's a nice hard ridge right there, and it holds bait better than you think. And then I try to run the barb through the guts so it holds them in. I don't know how deep this is. I don't know. The current looks like it's moving pretty moderate. I got a rifle right in front of me, so I'm guessing there's a shallow point there. So let's just chuck them out and see what happens. And it doesn't seem very deep. And I've got long leaders, so we'll see if we snag up. Oh, that spot's deep anyway. We're on an outside bend. I'm tempted to maybe throw one right over here and see if there's a deep hole here in this corner, or maybe try to throw in front of that rifle. I've been seeing some shad jump close to the bank, so we're just trying to kind of read it as we go. Got this guy right through the nostrils, got plenty of hook exposed. Gonna start with big bait, see if we get some big flatheads. See what happens. Doesn't seem very deep here, guys. Let me just tackle bag so I can sit next to you. Sit down on this rock. Ugh. Let's see, we got Guy Lando in here. Sorry if you guys keep seeing my finger. Tommy Wilson says, where we at? We're on the Great Miami. I'm like 3 away from 300 subs. That's awesome, dude. We just passed 500. Passion for hunting and fishing's in here. What's going on? Thanks for joining the stream. Justin's in here. Tiffany's in here. Terry's in here. How you guys doing today? No idea what we're gonna get into. I know nothing about this spot whatsoever. It could be a total bust, but it looks right. We're on the outside bend side of the river. Let me get down here. We're on the outside bend. That was me. I hit it with my foot. There's plenty of cover everywhere, guys. There's huge wood everywhere. Oh, we're getting a bite. Hey, we got one, I think. Got one. Well, we had one. So we know we got something in the area. Maybe it was small, just had the bait mouth. Let's put it back. This line is staying tight in the current upstream, so I'm guessing it's hung up on something. But we'll see. I got the sun at the screen, so it's kind of hard to see the comments, guys. Fish off. About time you went. About time you go wishing for a fishing live. Yeah, it's been a while. Well, the bite is a great start to a Monday morning. Yeah, we've only been here 5 minutes. We got a peck already. So I'm guessing there's some channels in the area. Got to know how to hook them. These are pretty big baits we're using. I'm hoping there's a flathead in the area. That's what I want to get. There's no blue cats in this stretch of the Ohio, but there's some hefty flatheads and channels. I don't like the way this is sitting. I might rethrow this one. I might even try to throw them past that rifle and see if it's deeper over there. I'll show you guys in a second. Right now I'm just kind of still surveying the area, reading the water, looking at the banks. We'll have a video coming out soon where we're going to talk about tips for bank fishing if you're new to it, and how to get on some nice fish. Just kind of reading the area, what to look for, what to try using, how to go about using different things, and what works. And we got a new personal best in that video too. So it's the same thing I practice every time I go out, especially when I go somewhere new. Chat locked up. Where are we fishing at? We're at the Great Miami River near Edgewater Racetrack. Nothing like the sound of locusts in the morning while fishing. Yeah. Right over there on the other side of this bend is Edgewater Racetrack, if anybody knows what that is. You want to look it up on Google Maps? While we're streaming, you can pretty much gauge about where I'm at. I'm on the outside bend directly across from Edgewater Racetrack near Cincinnati, Ohio. I don't care to show my fishing spots off. 5-to-1, the rod on the left is snagged. Yeah. This one's probably hung up. It came out of it. I'm gonna take a wild guess, for giggles. I see a current seam out there in the middle. Man, that focus sucks. We'll try to wing it out into that seam. And maybe with any luck, it won't be so rocky and snaggy out there. We got a nice side current here. We'll give this area about an hour trying different distances and stuff, and I might move down about 50 feet. Seems like there's some area over there I can go to, maybe find some shade. Tim's left, not ours. Well, the one that I got bit on, this is the right rod over here. This way, that's the right, and that's the left. And the stuff looks backwards on these screens. This is where I got that bite. It's a little bit deeper right here, actually. I wanted to go somewhere else today, but when I got there, they had a bunch of road construction, so the only spot to pull off was being blocked off by road construction vehicles, city workers. So I couldn't go there. Otherwise, we'd be fishing in a nice 25, 30-foot hole underneath a bridge. And I've caught lots of nice, respectable channels there. I haven't caught any flatheads yet, but it's multiples of channel cats. My in-laws been doing good around there. Hopefully one will double down soon. Yeah, it don't have to be deep to catch cats. We just got to find out where they're sitting in the current and try to get them. Normally I let them sit about 15, 20 minutes, but I'll probably change them about every 10 minutes. There's not enough depth for fish to take off with them or jump in and out of current or anything. So a turtle could just be sitting on a rock and munching the bait and not touching my line, so I want to check it more often. I think we just got another tap. Can you guys see that? Let me get out of the way. I think something's slowly tapping on this rod. I'm watching the line more than I'm watching the rod tip. The rod tip's got a little bit of twitch in it, but the line was bouncing more. We got something light on there. It's starting to dip. It could be nothing. It could be some leaves stuck to the line and the current's getting more drag on it. Could be a turtle. Could be a small flathead. You never know. There's a good sign. You guys see that herring fly by? Just heard a big carp jump. Seems like we're in a good area. I'm going to try to reel down on this in case it's a little guy. I'll feel for him. Nothing on the line. I'm guessing something smaller is pecking at it. We might have to downsize bait. Let's see. Let's try this. Right there. Significantly deep, about 6, 7 feet. Whoa! You see that? I bet the current pulled it out of its place. If something is on and it's swimming towards you, your line will drop like that. Best thing you can do, from my experience, is try to just gain some slack, tighten it back up, and see if they move off with it. Might be a snag. Uh-oh. You guys couldn't see it, but I seen a big, huge plume of bubbles right underneath my line. That's interesting. So I put that one. Stay still. Tried putting that one more in this little eddy here. Let me take a minute and show you guys what's going on here. Make sure I get my comments caught up. What in the funky flathead freakness is going on here? Let's see. Luke's in here. Hi, Luke. Thanks for coming in, man. I gotta pull a Luke and catch up on my comments. Catfish Bill's in here. For some reason, I still can't see him unless somebody mentions him. Tim, the biggest flathead I ever hooked up on was 76 pounds in 2.5 feet of water. Yep, I've seen bigger and shallower too. Legend Luke in the house. Is the current, or it's the current. Hey Bill, hey Tim, what are you using for fishing? Chuck, we're using, we got some crappie, bluegill, and shad that we're gonna cut up and try. Frank Neely's in here. Twisted Tim is wishing for a fish. Current fishing in rivers is tricky. Yeah, especially in shallow water. Hello everybody, Patriots in here. I see 2 pieces of submerged cover straight out in front of him. Yep. Big wood pile. Bust out the Wheatie ball. Forget the Wheaties, hamburger, and cornflakes. Throw out in front of the bush. How's everyone doing this morning? Cornflakes and hamburger, use that. I ain't got none of that with me, unfortunately. Let me show you, can I switch cameras? I haven't used the actual YouTube app in forever. And I can't see my screen all that well because it's so sunny. But if you can see the slime line, I got it going right about here on this left rod. I've seen a lot of shad jumping over there. There's a big, huge wood pile. There's a nice little shallow rifle, whatever you want to call it. And right here in front of this is where I was getting those taps. Uh-oh. We got something, I think, guys. I'm going to have to set you down and check it. Line's really slack, so I'm hoping. Nope, not enough slack yet. Ah. Let's inspect. Something was mouthing it. A lot of scales are missing on one side. Put it back over there and try again. Not really a good way to set this rod and these rocks on at this angle. Okay. Wonder, maybe get some distance here. Ain't really the best spot to have a stance for a long throw. We'll see if I miss anything this time. Luke, if you're missing, that's strike one for me. I can't be serving fish at a meatloaf. Anyone coming to Monsters on the Ohio? I'm just trying to find a good place to stay. Left rod is bouncing. Yes, I can't have my eyes on everything. That's the downside of live streaming. You can miss some fish. Let me, we got it back out there. I got my rod hopefully in a better position. We're using Reaper circle hooks on that one and Mad Catter 7-knot HDs on this one. I got it thrown out just past that rifle. Oh, and we got a hit. Let's see if he commits. That's a pretty hard tap. It's got to be at least an eater size channel. I'm gonna wait till he commits. Rather have the hook in his mouth than stuck on one of those rocks out there trying to get it back in. See if it bounces some more. I'll keep watching that. I'm gonna pan over this way and show you guys what's down here where we might head to next. Always wear some waterproof rubber boots. That way you ain't gotta worry about falling in and getting wet as much. Barefooting, it's one thing, but it sucks when you're on a bunch of sharp rocks. So I'm looking to head over this way, over this little rock hub here. There might be some shade, calmer water, hopefully a little bit deeper. Looks like there's a whole bunch of garbage hanging up in the trees over there. Told you, right in front of the bush action. They always hold up close to falling wood and rocks. I'm actually not that close to it. I'm literally just past the rifle. I didn't get as close as I wanted to. There's not a whole lot of a casting range here to get a good long throw. I need to clean my reels. Yeah, I'm thinking about heading over there soon. We're gonna give this area a little bit longer to get up out of this water without slipping or falling on my butt. The Galaxy Note 9's waterproof, but my wallet isn't. Can't wait to see that pole bend. Good enough. I promise there is a scour hole just downstream and to an angle of that rock bank. Oh yeah, dude, I guarantee. I just figured I'm right here. I had to come down all of that, and it looks like it's just a big mossy, but it's all boulders like this. And there's big patches of tree branches with underneath them like a trap hole. Stepped in one of those. There's a pain in the butt. Here we go, here we go. Let me set the phone down, see if we can hook him. I don't know how good that angle is, but he seems like he's on. I think I'm in a snag. Oh, no, he came out. He's on. Oh, and he's pulling some drag. That's a big boy. We got one, guys. Woo! This feels like it's not fighting super hard like a little eater size channel would, but there's some head shake. I'm guessing flathead. He's not shaking like crazy. But he's got some darn good tugs to him. Whoa, you guys see that swell? Did you see that swell? He's pretty big. I'm guessing, from what I've seen of that tail fin, around 15. At the bare minimum. We can get a weight on him if I land him. He's pulling like a mad cow. And I hope he's hooked good. And I hope those rocks didn't bang up my line too bad. Oh no, he's bigger than 15. It's a flathead. He's at least 20. And I'm getting a hit on my other one. My other line just got tapped and went slack. Double, maybe. We'll see. I gotta wear this guy out. Last time I set one down like this and went to grab the other one, that one came off, and I went back to go this one, and my leader broke because he rubbed the rocks too much. Alright, let me land him. He's over 20. Oh yeah, definitely. He's probably 30. Looks can be deceiving. Ugh. 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 Let me get him unhooked. This might be a new PB for me. Man, that hook's in there good. Ah, there we go. Look at that, guys. Oh, man. He's heavy. I'm gonna get my scale. I'm gonna wait, then we'll let him go back. My personal best flathead's 32, and he might have just beat it. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh no! Oh no! Well, I bet that thing's gone. Uh, 44 pounds. That breaks my heart that I might not get that rod back, but he's gone. 44 pounds. Now I gotta try to get my rod back. See if I can fish it out. I don't think it's gonna happen, guys. Oh man. Did you guys see that? You can snag it back. Rod, uh-oh. I knew there was another fish on there, but I didn't want this one to get away because it felt huge. Oh man, good thing I got more rods. Throw straight out and drag to the left. Yep, that's what I'm going to try to do. I'd be scuba diving for that rod. Well, truth be told, I don't have a lot of money into this gear. Ugly sticks are $40 rods. These reels they're 6,500 C3s, but I only paid like 40 bucks each for them. So I guess I'm going to try to see if I can snag and get that thing back. Maybe I'll get the fish too. Wouldn't that make for a great video? If not, it'll be a heartbreaking video. New PB at the cost of a rod. I'm going to keep that shad head on there to kind of work like a weedless thing for my sinkers. Maybe I'll get lucky and the rod's caught on some rocks or something. If I was able to better gauge the current, I might go try to swim for it, but people drown that way, and a rod is not worth somebody's life. Most definitely not. I knew something was on that pole, I just didn't. Last time I set one down to try to get the other one, I lost both fish. And that was not cool. Wouldn't that be something? 60 pounder. Pull the rod. Good thing I got my drag set on my other rod. I wasn't paying attention to see if that fish was going to swim out. Might just have to count it as a loss. I got more rods. Man. Well, I know the snags ain't bad here. I might just have to count that as a loss, guys. Now you have another great story to tell. You could see the line start going back downstream, and then the rod went. I yelled. I wasn't seeing the screen. I was trying to get that fish in. I had my back to the rod. Oh well. We'll keep fishing. Maybe I'll get caught into the line and be able to pull it. Guess we're down to one rod, huh? If I lose both rods, then I need to turn in my fisherman card. That was the newer ugly stick rod too. I still got the older ones. That was a newer one. I've had that thing less than a year. Well, if anybody's watching this and you happen to be in the area and you're on a kayak or a canoe or whatever, and you happen to see a rod on a sonar that looks identical to this 6500 C3, the newer model ugly stick rod with slime line and a red demon dragon on it, if it's still there, that'd be mine, and I appreciate it if you could let me know if you find it. Now, if I had my my deeper sonar that got stolen from me, I could use that to try to scour the water and search for it. If you don't keep trying, turn your card in. They are hungry. Same fish could bite again. The rod went to your left. I watched it go. So let's see. Normally fish will swim downstream. So you're saying that it went that way? Towards that? That's downstream. It could have swam upstream back into this hole somewhere. I don't want to spend my whole time trying to fish for a rod when I've got about 10 more at home. I just happen to like that one. Okay. Well, maybe I'll throw that way and see if something happens. Because I was throwing down that way and trying to reel back upstream. Because catfish will normally take their bait and then try to swim downstream with it to get away. I scanned back and you could see it. I didn't know you could scan back during live streams. What time do we got here? 11:21. Still got like 3 more hours. Get it back. Well, the good news is it's not all that snaggy, except for there. Hooked into a couple rocks, but a good tug usually got it to pull the rock out of the mud. Alright, that ain't working. Hopefully I just lost the leader. Yep. Oh well. That's why they say you can never have too many rods. Still good live fishing, didn't get skunked, and you got a new PB, yeah, new 44. The screen is reversed, yeah, when I'm on my front camera, so this is upstream and that's downstream. So if I'm seeing it the way you guys are seeing it still and things look backwards, to the right side of your screen is upstream and to the left is downstream. And I was throwing downstream that whole time, and then I just snagged throwing upstream. That was an epic flathead. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and try to bait back up. Get some new leader tied on. Now if I start seeing a big old fish stuck at the bank flailing around, chances are that might be my rod and he's stuck there and he can't go farther out. Maybe the good Lord will bless me and let me find it later again. Whether it's in the future at a different time or 20 minutes from now. I'm gonna put on a new reaper. Sit right here. It went behind you when you were weighing it, yeah, so it went downstream. Man, I almost want to save this live stream and edit it into a production video. Yeah, he's going to have a hard time adjusting to a hook and rod. Yeah, like the old ball and chain. Now I'm gonna just throw on another 8/0 Reaper. I'm gonna snell it. If you guys don't know how to do these no-knot snells, I'll show you. I always do this on my hooks now. You go front to back, parallel with the shank. like that. And then I go counterclockwise a bunch of times. The number doesn't really matter. I go anywhere from 7 to 12. And then you take the other end and you go back to front and just pull it tight. The reason you do that is when you try to pull it up over your arm, this is how it would imitate going into the corner of the mouth. The hook barb wants to bury in. If you did it the other way and went front to back at the end also, the hook would try to go up like this and you would never set the hook. You would never get a hook set. Yell, save the video. Who makes the Reaper is Hooker's Terminal Tackle, Mr. James R. Wood. Yes, make a video. Yeah, I might save this live stream and download it and turn it into a full production video. I was gonna do a regular recorded video with my GoPro, this Note 9, and then have my old S8 as a third angle, but there's nowhere to really set cameras, and I forgot my SD card for the GoPro. So multicam angles were out on this trip, but there's gonna be more of them. I intentionally make my leaders longer than I want, so I got room to play. Now I just do a regular fisherman's knot, cinch knot, whatever you want to call it, to connect it to my swivel. And I do that for a reason. I'll show you my knotting methods. Not saying it's right, but it's how I do it. And here's my methodology behind it. So you got your snell knot on the hook, one of the strongest knots there is. I got a polymer knot on the top of my swivel on this side, and then I got the fisherman's knot in the middle. That's kind of like the Achilles heel. It's a strong knot, but it's weaker than the other two. So if I do break off, that's where I want my stuff to break, so I'm not losing weights and sinker slides. Weights cost you more money than hooks do. But at the same time, another reason I'm not going to be flinging that line out like crazy for that other rod is because I don't want to spend $80 in hooks on snags trying to get an $80 combo back. So I'll just save up some money and get another one. I'm not going to reuse this shad head, but I am going to save it in case I need it as a backup bait. And I'm just going to cut up another chunk of this shad. Whoa. And I can't believe that happened. Maybe once I get my 1,000 subscribers and I can enable the super chat, maybe you guys could, maybe I could save up donations I get to buy equipment to make my channel better. That's the goal, is growth. Well, since that worked so good, I'm going to throw it back out there. Sitting in a snag, which is gonna give it a second, let some line out, and see if that current will pull it out of the snag. Or a fish will grab it, pull it out of the snag. You're gonna lose gear and hooks and weights when you're catfishing. But I wasn't expecting to lose a whole rod and reel. Not on that. Well, now, you know, pro tip. Try not to leave a fish sitting on a rod if you know it's on. If you can afford it. I have a sneaky suspicion those catfish were working as a team. I think so too. Get away, sweat bee. He makes the reapers. Okay, I'm caught up here. Need to check that river out. Good luck, lunch is over, back to work. Thanks for tuning in, Justin. Fishing Billy, what's going on? Appreciate you guys coming in here and watching. We got 21 people in here, I see. 13 thumbs up, appreciate it. I'm gonna try to do more of these when I get the time. I actually get to be off of work today. I normally work day shift now, temporarily. I have a new job. No longer a machinist at GKN Aerospace. Now I work for a company called Du Bois Chemicals, full time as the best way I could explain it, it's almost like an assistant cook. We got pre-kitters, which is what I am, and we have batch makers, and there's drivers who go and get certain ingredients for certain chemical batches, and they bring them to me, and I got like a recipe, a list of different items and the quantities and how much each item needs to be, and I get the recipe ready for the batch maker, and then he makes it. And we normally work from 5:30 to 2. And when I get off work, it's time to go get the kids from school and do the dad thing. So I'll be on day shift until I pass my probationary period, then I believe I go back to second. Rod tip looked like it was swaying a little bit. So until I get to go back to working night shift, there might not be too many of these. But we get off for Columbus Day, which is odd to me. It's one of those union agreement things. Do I still have my deeper to help find the rod? No, I don't. That was stolen from me by a guy named Jason Ritter. Rod tip's starting to bend down. Yeah, I had the deeper along with about $300 worth of, or about $600 worth of gear that I was going to sell on Facebook, and he wanted to come out and get it, asked if he could pay me later. And me being nice-hearted, I said sure, took his word for it, and he walked off with it, and tried to go to the police about it, but they couldn't do anything because he lives in a different jurisdiction, and he came here to me. So it's not worth their time to go out and get him, and the police in his jurisdiction won't do nothing because the event happened down here, out of their jurisdiction, so they won't do nothing. But he got away with a lot of stuff, and I just ended up letting it go. That deeper alone was like 300 something bucks. I'm hoping something's got that rod and bending and not just debris in the current. I'm guessing that's current. Surely if it was bent over like that from a bite, he would have been trying to take off with it. Yeah, I think that's debris. We'll give it a few more. Might be snagged. Oh, wrong button. Chemical Cook, Breaking Bad. Didn't know you fished, Tim. Thanks, Mike. Do you ever fish near Columbus? No, I don't. I don't get the opportunity to go up there too much. I'm in Cincinnati, just outside of Cincinnati. Just go get the rest of the family and just go get the rest of his family and friends. I let that go, man. It ain't a big deal. If he needed it that bad to sell to make some money or something, then that's on him. I think my thing just came out of a snag finally. It's bumping. Nope, that's a fish. That's gotta be a fish. I think we're on number 2, guys. I'm just gonna have to set you down. I don't want to miss this one. Bear with me. I think you let it go. I'm stuck in a snag. Oh, it came out. Thank God. Check our bait. Still got my bait, but the gut pocket's sucked out. I'm gonna take a break from that for just a second. Whoa. And we're gonna walk around this rock corner here and see if there's a better thing to fish. Using those floating sinkers? No, just regular bank sinkers. Where are you staying at the where am I staying at for the Catfish conference? We don't know yet. We had one booked. I think the Redway Inn is what it was called. It's the cheapest one around, but I think we unbooked that. I just got a job lead on a brewing company. That's cool. Better fishing down there anyways. Drawing beers for beers. You can use my sonar to try to find it sometime. You're gonna make us stare at the sky. Did you do a video on the Deeper Pro? Yeah, I got a little bit of it in my one of my live streams farther back. I'll have to change the title of it, but I had my buddy Jason Schwartz with me. Or not Jason Schwartz, it was Kyle Mullins. Wrong friend, wrong trip. I had a Deeper out with both those guys, different trips, but with Kyle we actually did the video. He was holding my live stream, and we had the Deeper synced up to his phone so you could see how it looked and how to operate it. It's a pretty nifty thing to have. Virginia, have we caught anything yet? Yeah, we've caught 2 things. Kinda. We kinda caught 2 things. I caught my new personal best flathead, 44 pounds, and while fighting that, another fish decided to take my rod into my other rod into the water with him. I didn't have it wedged in the rocks good enough. I knew he was on, but it was just tapping. I thought it was something small, or maybe a turtle. I didn't really think nothing of it. And by the time I was getting this fish and weighing him in, he had came out of the current and swam out and took my rod with him. So maybe if we go down here a little bit, we might run into it again. But here's what we're looking at, Virginia, if you're just tuning in. Caught the 44 over there. Now this ain't steep water. It's not deep. That's probably only 5 feet deep over there. Fishing Billy just got here. Yep. Thanks for coming in, Virginia. It's only 11:41, almost noon, so we still got just over 2 hours still to fish. I'm gonna walk over here and scope this out before I bother to bring all my gear. I'll take you guys with me. Yeah, I was standing in all this muck trying to keep my balance to grab that flathead by the mouth. I don't like lip gripping fish unless I absolutely have to use the lip grips. Even blue cats, I'd rather just grab them by the mouth. Trying to see what I can see over here, see if it's worth my trip. Man, I don't know. I could come like right here. Be a pain in the butt to land a fish. I'd have to bring him over here maybe and land him. But this looks pretty deep. It's got some back current. There ain't no way I'm getting in that shade. But this rock wall is actually blocking a lot of wind. So I might come over here just to stay cool from the wind. Production video is a must on this one. I'll see what I can do because I think this only goes up to 720. I think YouTube streams only do 720. So I might actually try to come over here. You can see the current seam right here. I'm down to 1 rod. I could go back up and get another one, but I am not climbing up all that mess to get a second rod. I keep rods in my car 24/7. But you can kind of see the seams here. That one that took my pole was right where my finger is. Just right there, maybe 5 feet off the banks where I had the line. Right off the bank. They got me good. I think the rod is close to where you're fishing. I can't see it being drugged to the bottom too far, drug on the bottom too far. It's gotta be stuck sitting here somewhere until that fish breaks that line. I'm not gonna spend too much time looking for it though. I might try to throw it a few more times towards the end and see if I can get it, but I'm here to fish. That's the first rod I have ever lost in all my years of fishing ever. So I'll have to hop on some Facebook groups or something, or eBay, and see if I can find me another cheap Abbey reel. Warming up to swim? Yeah, it's warming up to swim. It's about 90 degrees, but the water's really murky. There's almost no clarity to it. And this river has got a lot of people drowned because it changes so much and there's so much variation in the current. A lot of people will go to places to swim and then they'll dive under or do a cannonball and then they don't come back up and you never see them again. This ain't the safest river to be, heck, even waist deep in. I wouldn't recommend it. Frank can tell you, he's probably heard some great Miami river depth stories. Now, if you're on a kayak or a canoe or a john boat or something, that's different. But just to swim out there willy-nilly and not know what you're going up against in undercurrents and stuff, yeah, you don't want no undertow catching you and dragging you under. Or if your shoelace gets caught on a stick, or if your belt or your belt loop on your pants gets caught on a piece of rebar or something, you're in a panic, you don't know what's going on, you can't see, you can't tell, and it's not worth my life. I'll get another rod someday. I got more at the house. Those two ugly sticks just happen to be my favorites. I have a third ugly stick that's identical to the one I got now, but it's got the tip broken off of it. And it's technically not mine anymore. I gave it to Molly. She wanted her rod to learn how to bait cast with. I still got my Muddy River rod and some other ones at the house. I think I'm gonna pack some of this gear up and we'll move over there and get into some of that breeze. See if we have any better luck in that hole. But there's fish out there. So if you guys ever come down this way, here's a spot you can check out. That's Edgewater Racetrack right over those bushes. So you just come on the opposite side of the river on this outside bend. And there's a nice little hole for you to try to get some fish. Those dams get people in those downstream edges of the sandbars. Oh yeah. There's spots in this. This is pretty calm for the Great Miami, but there's some spots I could show you where the current's so swift. If you were to try to throw a cast net into it, it would yank you in before you got a chance to get your hand out of the rope. It's like a whitewater rapid. I'm seeing lots of shad jumping. I'm debating on trying to throw my net and maybe get some live bait. See how that does. Catfish Weekly tonight. Maybe you will win another. Yeah. I hope Tony lets me win one of those big cat fever rods. Well, it was worth it. We got a new personal record. Flathead for me. Put all this stuff in here because I don't need it no more since I'm not filming. Don't mind me just tossing my camera gear willy-nilly. I was gonna film, but I can't. I need to get like an actual stand-up tripod. That would make for a great bloopers Bill Dance style film reel, don't you think? He's lost more rods than I have. Get my bait out of the dirt. I kept it down here in the shade so it wouldn't dry out and get all soggy so fast. Oh, rotate device. Okay, got that. It's gonna take me a minute, guys. Bear with me. Bear with me a second. Let's see, will that stand up there? No. There we go. Hold tight. I'll leave that stuff here because I gotta come back up this way anyway. We'll just take the bag in the bucket. Oh, that breaks my heart. I want to cry. But I want to laugh at the same time. That's equally funny as it is breaking. It's stupid, watch your rod. Okay. Oh man, I forgot I gotta carry. Uh-oh. Gotta carry my Mountain Dew too. That's how I got the drink. There's the bait I'm gonna be using for the remainder of the trip. Did you get it on video? Yeah, I did. What size of rod was it? It was the 8-foot 2-piece casting ugly stick catfish rod. And 6500 C3 was the old model. It had a bearing and ceramic pawl upgrades in it, but they came like that. I traded a stock out of the box 6500 6600 HC record Abu reel, which is an 8 bearing stock reel. I traded that for that C3 and this C3, and they both came already upgraded like that. So and I think I traded a black rocket for that record and an old record 60. So it was a 6500 Abu, not a 5000. Set this gear down. Ugh. Oh, bag, you don't go on the rod. Okay. It's hot out, guys. Get myself situated here. Put my bait somewhere so I can turn my bucket upside down. Need to have somewhere to put this bucket. So I can tripod. Do you even tripod, bro? Bear with me, we're gonna get back to fishing. Okay. Who's the guy on Catfish Weekly always giving rods away? That would be Mr. Tony with Catch the Fever. He's always giving away big cat fever rods. Try to level this thing out. Doing it on the fly, guys. Doing it on the fly. Okay. I can't promise the best camera angles, because this is a really, really rocky terrain. I'm going to reuse this piece of shad. I'm just going to cut the gut pocket part off, downsize it, and rehook it. Make sure there's no scale on the hook tip. Woo! Good gracious, now where can I put it? We might just have to let this one sit with the clicker, guys. We'll do that. Use the clicker. Fish can't steal your line, or your rod. Since I got a circle hook on, if the clicker's running, instead of engaging the reel and then flipping it up, I'll just engage the reel and then let him load it up himself. We'll do it that way. Hope you guys Don't mind if I smoke. I try not to in my videos anymore, but that was a very stressful event. Dustin Fall, what's going on? I have an 11-foot tsunami and a 10-foot pro angler with Akuma spinning reels. I have one just like it and would hate to lose it. Where are you at? Fishing with J-Reel. We are at the Great Miami River. We're near Edgewater Racetrack, if anybody knows where that is, just outside of Cincinnati. We're a couple miles upstream from the Ohio River, and nobody can see my face. This turned out to be a pretty good spot for going somewhere new. Uh-oh. Don't want my tripod to fall over. It's very loose. It's turned out to be a pretty nice spot so far. Uh-oh. But I didn't want to happen. So far, before this tripod rudely interrupted me, let's put you over here. Maybe that's not a good idea either. Here we go. Flat rock. Hold on. Things aren't liking me today. It's been one of those days. Nothing wants to go right. But we're gonna make it happen anyway. You know why? 'Cause I'm a honey badger. I fish where I want. BS, we were going. Heard you caught a big flathead. Yeah, I caught my new personal best 44-pound flathead. Having any luck? Yeah, we've caught two actually. I caught one and one caught me. I caught the 44-pound flathead while I was reeling it in. Wind's blowing the bucket. Wow. While I was fighting that flathead, another fish was on my other rod, and I knew something was playing with it, but I didn't know he was on good. Had the bait and started to go downstream with it while I had my back turned to the river, and he pulled the rod out of the rocks and took my rod into the water. So now I'm down to rod and reel. Now we just got one line. So it's almost like we're streaming with like Northwoods Angling. It's nice to see words getting out and people's talking about it. So since I'm just got the one rod to watch and there's nowhere to really set it, I just got the clicker sitting. And you guys will know when I got a bite, because you'll hear it. Maybe with the grace of God, I'll be able to get that other combo back. Woo! You definitely don't want to bring your kids here. But if not, I got plenty more. Not that big a deal. That is so great to catch a PB when you finally get a chance to fish. Thanks, Mike. Joe Jellison's in here. What's going on, Joe? Joe, you might know this spot. We're near Edgewater Racetrack. And if you're just tuning in, didn't get to hear the story yet. I did get my new PB flathead here. We're on the opposite side of the river from Edgewater. Great Miami River has some nice flatheads in there. Yes, it does. I got a 44 pounder just over by this log brush over here on the other side. And while I was fighting that one, another fish decided to take one of my rods in the water, so now I'm down a rod. It's a 2-rod limit here in Ohio, so I only brought 2. I didn't bring any backups. I got some in the trunk, but I'm not walking all the way back up that hill. So now I'm down 1. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We got 22 people in here, 15 thumbs up. I appreciate it. I appreciate the watch time. If you guys haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, if anybody's watching who's not in chat, if you subscribe, you'll be able to interact in chat. And I hope you'll follow along with us. I think we were at 501 subscribers last time I checked. Once we get to 1,000, we're going to do a huge giveaway with a lot of your favorite gear and apparel. All you need is one. That's right. What part of the Great Miami are you at? I missed that part. Galendo, we are... You could probably get down here by yourself. I wouldn't bring your kids. I wouldn't bring nobody young, because it can be very dangerous and steep to get down to at where I'm at right now, this particular location. But if you got a boat or whatever and you want to try to get up here, we're on the outside river bend, and right across from me over these trees is Edgewater Racetrack. If that gives you guys any indication where we're at. Edgewater's over there on the other side of the river. I'm opposite of that on the outside bend. That way, I was worried if I try to go anywhere on that side. Woo! Got one. Feels like he dropped it. They're here. That, to me, I would call channel cat. The speed that it went off. Channel cats hit like blues around here. Flathead's got that slow takedown. Channel's hit and run. One fell swoop. Especially the bigger channel cats, they hit like blue cats. Okay, did I miss anything? Sad but epic as far as the entertainment. Yeah, that was a warmouth. If you guys haven't subscribed later on in the year, definitely going to try to get some winter streams in, some winter videos. I'm just waiting to go back to night shift, so I got some more time to do things during the day while the kids are in school. They get slammed with lots of homework and just the normal day-to-day house duties and stuff. You don't really get a lot of time in the evening to fish during the work week. And then the weekends we're typically doing whisker stick stuff. So unless we get time to go out and do some fishing trip as a group on the weekends when we're caught up, we try to do that. But normally it's while the kids are in school and I get time to get out and I can do some streaming or some video production. Them channel cats can hit hard. Yes, they do. We'll see if he hits it again. We'll give it another 10-15 minutes on this, and oh, something's taking it. He spit it out again. He didn't spit it out, he got it. Alright, new bait. This time, let's try, since I'm out of shad, where'd that knife go? Crappie. We use a crappie head. I'm just gonna hook him through the jaw and out the nose. That way his mouth stays somewhat shut. We'll flip that back out there so we know something's out here eating. This is calmer water. I threw it out a little bit more to see if it got deeper or shallower. It feels shallower, so there's probably a small shelf there. Let that sit like that. I can't tell how the focus is going in and out or not. Screen's super dark, I can barely read the chat. I'm listening while doing art. Every time I hear that zzz, I have to check. Yeah, we have guard, Dustin. You get your nail back. We're still live on my end. Did you get your nail back, Dustin? I hope your leg's doing okay, man. Hope you're doing alright. Now we got a crappie head out there now. I'm going to try to watch the line, see if I can anticipate. It's hard to keep a good camera angle. I'll try to tilt it down too far, the phone will tilt out. Maybe I can do this. Let's see. See how that works. That way I can sit and talk to you guys. There we go. Yep, got to keep the nail. Was that an air gun incident, or somebody get mad at you and put one in you while you were asleep? Won't be fishing monsters due to the nailing myself. Go to the doctor tomorrow to see if they're going to do surgery. Oh man, that sucks, Dustin. Was it a galvanized nail by chance? I'm sure they reissued you another tetanus shot. Here, kitty, 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 kitty. Here, kitty, 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 kitty. You don't have to call for a fish, but it helps. It really does help. Galvanized, no tetanus. Oh, that's good. Tetanus shots hurt. They don't hurt at first, but they hurt the next morning. Really? Bait jumping right next to my feet. This ain't turned out to be too bad a spot, guys. I was gonna do a production video, a recorded video talking about fishing new spots that you ain't ever been to, how to go looking for them, and how to check them out on Google Maps and stuff using the satellite view. Is that, I can't tell if this is blurry or not, but didn't work out that way, so I said screw it, I'll go live. Definitely saving that clip for a bloopers reel. We'll make a bloopers episode at some point. Thank God it wasn't something super expensive. I like buying a lot of name brand stuff. We're getting a bite. Line's jumping. Take it, baby. I don't have the line super tight, so he ain't pulling the clicker yet. Something's mouthing it. I like having nice name brand gear, but I also don't like spending a fortune on it. If that would have been my Flathead rod, that's an $80 rod, I'd have been more inclined to go jump in after it. But these ugly sticks can hold their own pretty much on any size fish. That was a 44-pound flathead in swift current. On the older ugly stick rod, it's still got ceramic eye inserts. And a lot of the epoxy's cracked and dried out on the eye guides and everything. This is a really, really old rod. But I like taking it when I go to these new spots like this where I don't know what the conditions are. In case something like that does happen, I'm not out a whole lot of money. Come on. This might be a turtle. Trying to feel the bites. It feels like a head shake or something's like slowly tugging on it, or you know how them turtles will just like chomp once every couple seconds. He's not taking it and running with it. I'm betting that was a turtle. Yeah, that bottom side of that head's kind of crushed. Let's try. Make sure I got good footing before I throw myself in the river. Let's try that right there. I'm able to keep a tight line on it now, in that position. Put that there, put this over here, put that in there, get my pop, and let's have a seat. All right. Kentucky Catman, we were also working on a Whisker Sticks version. Alright, what I missed? My mom's in here. Team Wampus. What's going on? Missing some comments here. I'm catching up. Lena's in here. Mom, I got a new personal best, and the second fish took my rod in while I was fighting that one, so I just lost a rod and reel. Do you use carp for cut bait? Yes, I do. When I'm able to get it, I will use it, especially on the Ohio River for blues. Cut carp is like candy to blue cats. Flatheads even too. the fish is so oily it puts a good lingering scent in the water. Bank rod holder probably would have saved your pole. Dustin, you are absolutely correct, but there's nowhere to really put one here. It's all bedrock and boulders, and I had it wedged in some boulders, and that fish actually wiggled it out. I'll show you guys the scenery here in a second. Working on one of them, Dustin. Steve Douglas has the Bankmaster Pro, but can't get that for a bank rod holder. Have you got any yet, 10 PD? Yeah, we caught a 44 pounder. New personal best. PD got a 44 flathead water. I really get in. Another one took his other pole yet. That's the first time that's ever happened to me. I have river rodders, that might work. I got river rodders here with me. I brought them in case I could stake them into something, but there's nowhere to bury them. I mean, they'll go if you got a crack in some concrete and a sledgehammer. You can wedge them things in there. It won't hurt them. Huh? I don't know what that was. But there's nowhere to really set those rod holders here. There's no dirt. If there is dirt, it's 1 inch layer of silt on top of another rock. Yeah, I lost the pole, PD. No demon dragon. We caught that one on a regular Carolina rig. Mine will stick up in those rocks. You can if you set them right. Let me show you guys what we're working with here. Alright, so I got this line out there in that rifle. Hopefully there's a little scour hole there somewhere where something's hanging waiting for something to float by. They'll pick up on that scent. Come up and get that one. I was over there. And you see that cinder block right in the center of the screen? Above that yellow, the rock with the yellow line, that's where I had my rod sitting. And it actually wiggled it out. So I was over there and I had it sitting in front of that wood. And hooked into one. Was fighting that one in, and by the time we got it into the bank, I had already had another one on my other one, had it doubled up. But he was upstream and the line was slack, so I wasn't going to try to do a hook set on something that was swimming towards me. And he ended up swimming behind my back, going downstream while I wasn't looking, had my back turned, and went the rod. I heard it fall in, and my heart sank. It could be sitting right in front of my feet somewhere, I don't know. We tried flipping a line out for it a few times. Try to snag into it. Didn't work out. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. Float rig, I haven't tried a float rig yet. There's a bunch of bait chilling right there. You can tell how high up this river floods. See that garbage hanging in the trees. Sometimes this river gets up so high it'd be over my head. Who is fishing with me? Nobody. I am solo. I'll be here. It's 12:20. I got about 2 hours to go before I gotta pack up and go get the kids from school, make my way back towards the house. Clearing somebody's notifications. Alright. There comes Rescue 911. Float rig and drip them seams. I don't have any of those floats up with me, man. They're all up in the trunk. I tried to go as light gear as I could. I got the bait bucket, my backpack, and the rods, and those whisker sticks bobbers weren't actually packed in the backpack. So I'm stuck with what I got right now. Float rig would be excellent here. What you would do, if anybody's new to that concept, it's like suspend drifting on a boat, except you're just letting it suspend down the current. So I would throw it upstream, let the current drift it, and then wait for a bite, and after it gets to the end of the line, then I reel it back in and I try again. I called in to get Tim's rod. How thoughtful. That's awesome of you. It's so hot I want to go in there and go dip and look for it, but it's not worth it. You could get caught in some undercurrent, because whatever the current is on top doesn't necessarily mean it carries all the way to the bottom. It could be twice as fast on the bottom. It could sweep you right off your feet and down you go. You hit your head on a rock and you're dead. Drown. You could get your foot or your belt loop caught in something. Pain med's kicking in. Time for power nap. Oh, you made me yawn reading that, Dustin. Hope you feel better, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to all you guys for tuning in. We're getting kind of boring now, so hopefully I can cheer you guys up some. If you drowned, you won't be able to go pick up your kids. Yeah, that's right. My life's more important than a rod. We can get more rods. Totally worth it, though. You could fall off the porch and die. Yeah, yep. You could fall out of bed and die. You could slip on the soap in the bathtub and die. There's a million ways to die. There's only one way to live. On the water. On the water. I seen this spot on Google Maps, and I didn't realize how steep it would be to get down here. Let me show you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. But not the best footing to start. All these rocky rocks. Get it? See what I did there? Rocky. But that is a huge steep hill, and it's all those rocks. And there's a bunch of like death trap holes where it's a bunch of tree branches and moss all pasted over like paper mache. Looks like ground, but it ain't, and then your foot goes 3 feet deeper than you wanted it to go. Some of the best spots are the hardest to get to. Brandon, you hit it right on the nail. No offense, Dustin. But the best spots are the hardest to get to for a reason. Nobody wants to do it. So there's zero pressure on these fish. And that's what makes them bite good and makes them the best spots to go to. I just gotta hope nobody messes with my car while I'm gone. It's right up there at the top of the hill, but it's literally a little tiny gravel pull-off. There's a split in the guardrail and a little gravel pull-off. So I had to climb down that to get down here. And I was thinking, God, this better be worth it. Because it's not the spot that I originally wanted to go to. I had another one picked out a couple miles upstream that way. And I was going to fish underneath a bridge. But this is somewhere I've always wanted to come and try. And I'm glad I did. Maybe I could go down the road another mile or two and see if there's anywhere else I could pull off to try down there. Because this is one huge outside bend. Comes that way and it just bends all the way around. So that's why I wanted to be on this side of the river. I figured it'd be deeper. It would have more current, more oxygenation. There'd be more runs and more log jams. More stuff pushed up against the banks. So I thought I would have some better odds. And then to have the current going away from me helps too, because it's not gonna... Dustin's got me tired now. It helps that I'm not gonna have the current pulling my line right back to my feet. So I can kind of throw out this way and let them go down. We haven't got a single bite since that's been out there. You got more bites in 1 hour than I've had in 2 weeks. Oh man, that sucks, Mike. I'm gonna bring this in and try to rethrow it. We'll put it back over here in this seam over here. That's where we were getting some action. Message me later. I have a lot of ideas, Catman. I get home from work around 4. Yeah, hit Lena up. She gets off at 4 o'clock. My rod tip just jiggled. I wonder if something got debris in the current. It was very subtle. I just seen it out of the corner of my eye. Oh, that's a fish. That looks like fish. Let's put it in our hands before we lose this one too. And we'll see what happens. Could have sworn I seen that thing going. Oh no, I see what it is. I see a bunch of leaves on the line. Snag. Let's let the current carry some of the line down. Try to pull it out. Yeah, it's not helping. When you're using braid or high tolerance mono like slime line, I noticed that if I just hold my spool and try to pull my line, the slime line will actually bury into the spool similar to braid. So I wrap my line around my spool before I pull on it. Oh hey, it came out. That way I don't overstretch the mono. Maybe it didn't. There it goes. That way I don't overstretch the mono and I don't bury it into the spool so to cause a backlash later when I cast. Oh yeah. I knew I had something nibbling. Alright, I don't know if you guys know how to tell this, but there was a turtle playing with it. That's all chewed up, mangled up. They sucked that meat out like a shrimp. So that bait's no good now. Time for another one. Always pays to check your bait every so often, so you don't waste time. Alright, let's put this back in that hole. We were getting some action there. Caught a bush. Oh man, that's filthier than I thought. At least I get to pull my boots off. Well, about threw my whole spool of line out. Let's see. Looks like a nice spot. Thanks, Eric. It's a pretty nice spot so far. About threw my whole spool of line out, so got it pretty far out here. Let me, where'd you get that cool hat? WhiskerSticksFishing.com. We got other stuff there too, like hoodies, bobbers, kids bobbers, lights, cat rags, shirts, stickers, decals. Go check it out. We got 19 thumbs up and 13 watching. Thanks a lot, guys. Hopefully we'll get a couple subscribers. It'd be nice to get some more of that wind back. Should have thought ahead more on the having black shirts for a night fishing theme thing and wearing them in the middle of high noon. It'd be great in the winter time, but not so much in the summer heat. Well, it's technically fall now, isn't it? Yeah, it's technically fall. Man, that sucks. I'm glad I caught that one big one, but I was hoping we'd catch more than one. And I was hoping I'd be able to walk away with more than one rod. I would subscribe, but I'm already subscribed. Thank you. Last time I checked, we're up to 501. And as we grow and we hit the 1,000 mark, we're going to collaborate with a bunch of our affiliates and do a huge giveaway. We're going to get guys like Muddy River Catfishing involved, Hook Setter, all kinds of cool stuff. A lot of your favorite gear to use and favorite apparel. $1,000 subscriber celebration. Just shared 3 times. Thank you. We're gonna give this about another 15 minutes and then we'll move this line around again. Now I know how Luke Hinges feels. I don't like the one rod thing. I like being able to try different options at one time. Whoa! Did you guys see that? That thing got rocked. Hovering my hand over the rod with my left hand. In case something happens. Lena, if you're watching still, you probably like this spot, but you hit that hard again. Lena, you'd probably like this spot, but I don't think you'd like what it takes to get down to it. Something's there. Well, I think I got a minute to breathe. I'm gonna put this back on the tripod. get it back and hopefully not lose anything. Okay. Got 2 good hard hits. Hope the bait's still there. I gotta definitely try to clip this and see if I can make a video out of it. The only thing that sucks is it would be 720. I don't like 720. It's still HD, but I don't know, anything less than 1080 feels dirty to me. Here, fishy, 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 fishy. There's no more hits in the next minute or two. I'm gonna bring it in and check it, make sure it didn't steal the bait. Then I'll try this hole one more time over here. And if we don't get nothing, I'm going back to the first spot because we were getting action there. Oh, here we go. I think he's on. About a good 5 or 6 solid tugs. Look at them snag. Hopefully he's hooked and he swims it out of the snag. That looked like a channel cap bite to me. We'll give it a minute, see if he pulls it out. Set this right here so I don't lose it. Uh-oh. Dropped you guys. Hold on. I need a new tripod. Definitely need a new tripod. Okay. Have fun and good luck. That first spot was good. 2 fish pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much is the word for it. I landed one and he landed my rod. Might have to break this one off. I gave him a bunch of slack to try to swim out if he is hooked. We're not getting no more tuggies. Yep, I'm gonna break it. Wow. Well, that was one snag and I'm back into another. Alright. Got it loose. Bait's gone. Probably have to change my leader out. Tie a new leader on real quick and then we'll move spots. I'll go back to where we were before. Throw my trash here in the tackle bag. Keep the banks clean. Got our new leader. I bet this place is epic for night fishing. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. I might even come over here and throw the net for some fresh bait. Hopefully I don't lose that in the water too. Alright. Dropped you guys. I'm back. Tim, did you get your rod back or any more fish? No, not yet. We're moving spots right now, Patriot. We're gonna go back to where we were. What am I doing? Here we go. Yeah, I'm going back over there. I'm gonna put my line out there. That's where we got the 44 pounder. It's out in front of that wood. I was trying over here. It seemed calmer and deeper. There's a good seam, but it's just not producing. But this side was. But I always want to try as many areas as I can in a new location. If you fish the same spot over and over the entire time you're there, you don't get to really get anything, especially if you're not doing any good. You could have moved your line over 20 feet one way or the other and had a blast, and you never would have known it. Ugh. So, with that said, one second, guys. Let me get situated. Moving around when you're by yourself, bank fishing can be cumbersome and tedious. So I always try to be as light and mobile as I can. 2 light rods, 2-piece rods, so I can keep them close to me. And that's a big grasshopper. Thought it was a frog. I was gonna put him on the hook. It can be real tedious. So if I'm going within a couple hundred feet of each other, I don't take everything with me unless I know I'm gonna stay there like the rest of the day or the rest of the night. Then I'll make a permanent move. But I just kind of left most of my stuff here as a base camp. But didn't get my rod back yet. That'll be a miracle all in itself if I did. I highly doubt I will. But maybe another fisherman will find it and they'll recognize it and they'll contact me. That would be awesome. Even if that reel sat for a year and somebody found it, you could always take it apart and re-clean it. And it'll be good as new. We're going to throw out a fresh crappie head. Make sure nothing catch these trees. Alright. Back at it. Give me guys about 30 seconds. I'm going to try to throw this net once or twice, see if I get some fresh shad. This might be a mistake. I'm going to be watching that rod tip the whole time. And you'll know when I see it because there will be a lot of splashing and I'll be soaking wet trying to run back to get it. Alright, here we go. Try over here one time. Nothing. I'm done with that. Woo! We're using what we got, guys. My kids have a saying they got from school. It says you get what you get and you don't have a fit. I'm glad your state allows you to use game fish for bait. North Carolina does too. Set your clicker and free spool. Yeah, we can try that. Yeah, you can use game fish for bait here in Ohio. The condition is you have to catch it on rod and reel. So if I caught a 6-pound largemouth bass and I wanted to cut that up for cut bait, I wouldn't because it's so big. I could, as long as I'm not actively trying to fish for bass while I'm using bass for bait. And the same goes for crappie, whatever, any game fish. Here we go. Did he drop it? Yeah, he dropped it. Got a snag. They're over there. Took my bait. It's more like crappie jerky right now. Sun dried. But it's working. Ugh. I go in a lazy fisherman mode. Catfish Dave uses his clickers. Catfish Dave uses J hooks also, I believe. Yeah, you want to use a clicker with J hooks and octopus hooks. You want them to run so you can set the hook. Circle hook, it's good to have it tight lined so it loads up and the hook gap will curl over their lip and get them in the corner. Yeah, some people don't like that others will use the, well, I guess take advantage of the ability to use certain types of fish as bait for catfish. Some states you're not allowed. Some states you can't even use bluegills. Some states you can't use carp. Each body of water's got its own fishing regulations. Get another hit. Unless that's bouncing off the current. Could be the current pulling it. Can you guys see that rod okay? I can't see the screen too well since the sun's at my face. But yeah, here in Ohio, anything you catch with rod and reel legally you can use for bait as long as you're not fishing for that fish while you use it for bait. So while I have that crappie piece on there, I can't be flipping a jig out trying to catch crappie. If I happen to catch small largemouth bass or crappies about, I don't know, maybe 5 inches, 6 inches or less, I'll keep those and try to keep them live when I'm flathead fishing at night, and I'll use those for live bait. And little small bass like that, they're an excellent live bait for flatheads. You know what I'm almost tempted to do while we're back over here is put this rod in that spot where the other bait was that got taken in. Maybe I'll get lucky and catch that same fish. Wouldn't that be something? Dang work getting in the way of watching live fishing. I know that feeling. Once I go back to night shift at this new job, I'll be able to do stuff like this during the day for a couple hours while the kids are in school. But I won't be able to watch Catfish Weekly live on Mondays anymore either, because you can't have your phones out at work. I spend most of my time pouring stuff like acids and detergents and corrosives and stuff like that. You don't want to get none of that stuff on your phone anyways. So I'll have to wait till I get home and then watch the aftermath. But Lena will still be there watching. 103. We got about an hour and a half tops. I'm also trying to keep a vigilant eye out for my other rod if it ever decides to surface. I doubt it, but it would help. It really would help. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. It's kind of died down. We got 9 watching. We had over 20 something people in. It got boring and action died down and people went away. That's okay. I get to watch it front row seat. I would say I don't get to miss a thing. But apparently you can miss a lot even when you're right here. They need some like audible button that you guys can hit. So like when you push it, it goes boom or something. So guys like us on the other end of the screen here know to turn around and look. Like an alert. I keep coming back and forth working. Appreciate it, man. The only audible alert I had was after it had done hit the water. I've had this same rod, been using this same rod for a little over 3 years now. Haven't done any tune-ups to it. Haven't fixed any of the cracked epoxy. Haven't had to replace any ceramic eye inserts or nothing. There's no cracks in the spine of it. These ugly sticks will outlast the whisker stick. I wonder if it's got something to do with stick being in the name. Come on, baby. I know you're hungry. The carp are having a good time. They're jumping like crazy. There's long-nosed gar in here too, though I've never caught one. Maybe that's what gave my clicker such a long, quick, hard run earlier. That would explain why he dropped it as soon as I engaged the reel. Them things are hard to catch. Oh, hey, we get a break from the sun. Probably won't last no more than 2 minutes though. It's just one cloud. Waiting to see if you snagged that lost rod. Jeff, you ain't kidding, man. Kill that cricket. That's bad luck, man. There's probably about 600 of them. I wouldn't be able to find them all. Trying to find bugs outside is like trying to eat spaghetti. There's just too many of them. I don't like eating spaghetti. I like spaghetti, but I don't like eating too much of it. There's just too many of them on one plate. It's good when you want 1,000 of something, like rice. Oh man, it feels 20 degrees cooler now that that sun's not out. But it'll be coming back here in a second. I'm gonna check this line. I'll snag. Get him out. See if it stays out. Feels like my bait's gone. And it is. We got 2 more whole crappie left. Yep, sun's back out. Alright, I'm going on a stealth mission here. I'm going to put it where the culprit was last seen. I'm going to stand my rod up the exact same way. But you guys can't let me look away from it. Matter of fact, we'll chill like this. Get my legs moved so I'm not cramped up. We'll see if he comes back for a second strike. Now, I have hooked the same fish twice before. It's not impossible to do. Have I told you guys that story? Story time. So I was fishing at work at my old job at GKN. We had a lake there on the property. That's where I used to do the lunch break bite. And I had my rods sitting out throughout the shift. And when I went out there at the end of my shift to bring my rods in, I had a fish. One line was super slack and one I could see the rod tip bouncing. So I grabbed the one that was bouncing. And my poles were about 30 feet from each other on the land. So as I was fighting the one on the one rod, on the right rod, the slack started to tighten up on the left rod, and it started going nuts, and it was bending down harder than the first rod was. I was like, oh man, that one's bigger. I know he's on the hook. I put him back in my rod holder, and And I went and grabbed the left rod and started fighting him for a while. Well, then the line went slack on the right rod, tightened back up again, and it about pulled the rod out of the rod holder. So I set the left rod back down, went to go after the right rod again. And by the time I got that fish landed on that right rod, I noticed it had a circle hook in each corner of its mouth. And it had just so happened to be that I was fighting the same fish on 2 rods at the same time. Apparently he had ate one bait, ran off, got hooked, forgot about it, got hungry again, grabbed the other bait, ran off, got double hooked, and he was just playing tug of war with me. It was a fishing triangle. And he was, I don't know, he's about 18 pounds. He was a flathead. He wasn't big, wasn't huge. 18's big, but he wasn't a giant. But it was on this rod. And the rod we're gonna have to hold a memorial service for. I ought to just film some of this like this with the current going by. Color grade it to like a real deep blue, make it look sad and gloomy. Play some sad music. I'm not gonna see that rod again. It could be right under my nose this whole time for all I know. But I'm not risking getting injured or drowning to go get it. If somebody else knows where they're at, where this is, and they're watching at some point and they want to come down and try to get it, more power to you. If you happen to find it, let me know. And I'll probably end up letting you keep it. Just let me know you found it. You put in the work to get it back, you deserve to have it. 5 bearing upgrade, ceramic pawl, C3. With the newer ugly stick stainless steel eye guides. That would be cool if I was able to do that, Brandon. It'd be a lot easier if there wasn't so many rocks and I don't have to worry about snagging rocks. I don't want to go through 60 hooks trying to get a rod. Retying every time I want to throw out and drag this thing across the bottom. That's mostly what's keeping me from doing it. I don't want to go through all my tackle to get it back. It cost me about $40 to $80 in hooks to go through and spend half a day trying to get that thing back. And then I still might not get it. It might be 2 miles downstream now. "1:15 p.m. This ain't the most ideal time to be fishing. Especially a small river in the middle of the summer. Well, middle of fall. Feels like summer. Not the ideal time to be going after big cats. But you can't catch fish on the couch. And if it's the only time you got to go for it. If anybody's just now tuning in, we're sitting on the outside bend of the Great Miami River. We're a couple miles upstream from the Ohio River, directly across from Edgewater Park is right over there. And we're fishing shallow for flatheads and channels. And so far it's whisker sticks 1, catfish 1. I caught one of theirs, they caught one of mine. Had 2 fish on at the same time, and one ended up pulling my second rod into the water while I had my back turned. And what would have made me really, really angry, somebody happens to find that thing and they say, dude, it had a 60-pound flathead on it. I don't know how the line didn't break. That would make my heart sink. Must have been a good time for the PB-44 cat and the one that got the rod. Yeah, he just didn't get away. He got away with revenge. He got revenge. Sun's not letting up. None of the clouds want to go in front of it. I think my sun-dried bait might be losing some of its effectiveness. I tried cast netting for some fresh bait, but no luck. Even though they're slapping all over the place in front of me at my feet. If they're wedges making fun of me. The 60 said you bite that one and I'll take the other one. Or you fight that one, I'll take the other one. Oh, yeah, I read it right the first time. You bite that one, I'll come over here and get this one. You get to get back in the water, he don't get to get his rod back. It's almost like the bigger fish double dog dared the smaller one. The only thing that trumps a double dog dare is a triple dog dare. Learned that from Christmas Story. Wish that would have been on another camera at a different angle. Yeah, I had the intention of having 3 different camera angles going here today. But there's really no place to set phones up because I don't have big tripods. I just got that little tiny tripod there to lean my phone against. And the springs in it that keep it clamped in are gone. So it just has to sit in there. The other phone doesn't have anything to stand it up on, so I got to lean it against something. And there's nowhere to really put anything here. And my GoPro, I left the SD card at home. Still sitting in my laptop, probably. Should have had river rod or rod holders. You would not have lost your rod. You know, I got my river rodders right here. But there's just really nowhere to stake them. And I could lean them, but there's nowhere to really bury them. I tried putting them in some of this mud here, and it goes like 2 inches and hits another big one of these rocks. There's nowhere to sink them in. But I had thought ahead for that, not knowing what I was going to get into. And that's the coin toss of going to a brand new spot for the very first time. You don't know what the layout is. You don't know the depth or current. You don't know if there's any holes. Heck, you don't know if there's any fish. I can't tell you how many times I went to a spot on this river here. Some farther downstream, some farther upstream. And there's been a couple times where I went there and it looked real nice on Google Maps. Google Maps doesn't always show you how deep it is. And I went there thinking it was going to be super awesome. One spot, the current, it was deep, but the current was so quick because it was like a 10-foot, 15-foot wide gap between a sandbar and the other side of the bank where the main current was running through. That was the only water where fish could have any chance to reside. You couldn't keep a line out there with 20 ounces of weight. It would have just had your rod doubled over the whole time, and no fish is going to swim out into that to grab something. They're going to move out of that and go to something calmer. And another time I went to a different spot, outside of a ballpark complex. And I sat there for about 2 hours with lines in the water fishing, because it looked just like this. Unbeknownst to me, it was an overcast day. I couldn't see anything through the water, but once the sun came out a couple hours later, I could see through, like seeing that rock there. That water was only about 6 inches deep, the whole stretch of it. It was about half the width of this river, this section of river. And it was probably all the way out to that point right there. That point there. From here to that point. I fished that area for 2 hours. And I could have laid down on my back and just tilted my head up and kept my head over water. It looked like a nice current break. It was a calmer water. There was an island in between. The main current was outside of it. On the outside of it, so I was fishing the calmer water, hoping something would be held up in there, trying to stay out of the current. And there was stuff there, but it was minnows. So I wasted my time there. You just never know what you're gonna get into until you get there. Sometimes you end up getting a lucky roll, and I found that wood cover there and got into a 44-pound flathead. That's the biggest fish I've caught ever, blues and flatheads. Kind of think of it, my biggest blue is 37. I've held a 44 in pictures, but I didn't catch it. They just let me hold it for a tournament on the Potomac River. Deeper would have come in handy, yep. I didn't have the deeper at the time. Deeper would come in real handy right now. But it got stolen. So I don't have that no more. Try to take a man on his good word, and it wasn't such a good word. But we're not here to put anybody on blast. We're here to catch another fish. I don't think he's going to return to the crime scene. I'm going to try to throw that back over there into that hole again. That's where we seem to be doing had the best luck. Well, here too, but we got to land him, so I'm going to call that better luck to make myself feel better about myself for losing that one. That's what we're going to do. So let me set this back here. Try not to kill any crickets. Can't get out of any snags. Surprised my bait ain't going. But it did have a turtle eating at it. It's still got most of the meat on it though. I wonder if I should use it or cut another piece. Cut another piece. I'll save it as a backup, but that's some fresh guts. The outside might be sun-dried, but the inside's still gooey and stinky. I'm trying to see if I see a reflection from the real side plate. Then I would be inclined to roll my pants up and get in there. There we go. Where I wanted to go. Too much swing on the pendulum. God, these rocks. There we go. You never know, guys. I might be reeling that bait in. Next thing I know, I see some green slime line draped over that hook. You will see me make faces you have never seen before. And I will make noises that you have never heard before. It's like that current's rolling that line over some rock. Let's see here. Deeper start looks like a good deal for 99 bucks. Depends on the one you get, Jeffrey. The old Bluetooth ones are way cheaper. I had the Deeper Pro Plus. Or not the Plus, I had the Deeper Pro. The older ones do Bluetooth, and they only go out so far. The Pro Plus, I think, lets you go like 350 feet out. And they scan up to like 1,600 feet deep, and it uses a Wi-Fi connection instead of the Bluetooth. So it has its own Wi-Fi antenna that your phone connects to see everything in real time. And the Deeper Pro Plus has the Wi-Fi antenna plus a GPS chip in it. So you can map out where the deeper is, synced up to Google Maps to see where you've casted, and you can go back when you get home and look at where you've thrown. And see what it looked like on the bottom. You can see structure, fish that you might have marked, water temp. Shows all kinds of ridiculous stuff. I think those run anywhere from, they're 300 something brand new at like Cabela's, but I think you can get them used for a little bit less on Amazon and eBay. But if you buy it used, you don't get any warranty with it or nothing, so you got to keep that in mind. I'd like one more fish before we go home, please. Pretty please. Sometimes you gotta sweet talk it. I served you an entree. Finger foods. Well, whisker foods, I guess, in their case. It'll be a good story to talk about in Catfish Weekly tonight, huh? get out of the stagnant view for a second. We got 9 watching, 22 likes. We've been going for about 3 hours. We got about an hour to go. Whoop. I switched cameras because I thought I seen the rod tip bounce. But I don't know if that was the current or something else was taking my bait. Does the video quality and the audio look good for you guys on this today, or? What are these options here? Filters. I had it set to top chat instead of live chat this whole time, so I hope I didn't miss anybody's comments. Been great here. There's 2 different deepers. Yeah, there's 3 different deepers. 4 different deepers technically. You got the deeper fish finder, the original. Then there's the deeper 3.0, which I believe included some extra features from the original. Then you have the deeper Pro, which was the first one that came out with the Wi-Fi. And then there's the deeper Pro Plus. And I think they might have a new one out too. It's been a while since I've looked at them. But for the main part, some of them have Bluetooth connection, some of them have Wi-Fi connection. The Wi-Fi has a better range than the Bluetooth. The Bluetooth ones work just as good, but you can't throw it out as far. You lose your signal. So I think it's maybe like 50 to 100 feet. The other one you get almost 3 times as much. 200 to 300 feet or something. They have the deeper Start, which came out in March, or the deeper, the Start or Smart? I want to say it would be Smart. Or is it actually Start? Probably that Ninja Turtle bump in the line. Could be. It's shallower there, so the waters might have a little more rapid and turbulence. It could be moving them bank sinkers around. Deeper Start. I'll have to look it up. Wonder what the specs are on it. I had the deeper Pro, and at the time it retailed for about like 300 or 330 new. I think I got mine for 2 something on eBay. Wish I would have brought another can of pop down here. It's got some slight dip in the rod tip. That ain't no big fish though. I'm running low on bait, so I'm trying to stretch it out. About the same as Pro, just not as detailed. Oh, okay, so it's like a downgraded newer version, like the GoPro Hero that came out after the GoPro Hero 6. Does 1080 or 4K or something, but it's 10-bit instead of 12-bit. It's a newer, downgraded version, like the iPhone C. The iPhone 5C. It came out after iPhone 5. Still uses Wi-Fi. Something needs to happen. I'm gonna stand down here and let my boots soak in the water. You see the minnows? There's fish here. Need a little minnow trap, some bread. I'll just sit right here, and if I do happen to get a bite, this rod's right here next to me, I can grab it. It'll hit me in the head before it falls in the water, I know that. Then I can get out of this windbreak and actually catch some of the cool breeze. Then I'll let my feet cool off because these black boots are soaking up all that sunlight. It's 11:40. Let it sit a few more minutes. We'll try to recast one more time, and then we'll let that sit for a little bit and probably call it a day. Give me time to make my way back up this hill. I doubt there's a way to get to that side of the bank anywhere, public access anyway. That's something you got to consider when you're going bank fishing for new spots. You got to watch out for no trespassing. Awesome view though. Where those rocks are, I might be able to get down there somewhere. I know I can't go to where that point is straight ahead right here. That's a gravel yard. That's the one thing that sucks about the Great Miami River. A lot of the deepest areas here are blocked off by private property, and you can't get to them without a boat. Hope we get one more before we leave. Need to be able to throw it just a little bit farther and get it more into that pocket in front of that wood. Because right now it's probably sitting right in front of that rifle. I have the Vexilar Sonar Bobber Wi-Fi for 79 bucks online. Works great. I haven't used one in a long time. They're a great tool to have for a new spot before you invest a lot of time in getting down there and fishing, but I've been going to so many different new places, and being able to learning how to read the river and see what's where and kind of judge by looking at it what the depth might be or what the conditions might be. This looked like it was worth climbing down the hill too, and sure enough it was, to get that one. Well, to catch two. One got away with the rod. But there's a lot of great stretch here. This is the farthest down that I've been on this stretch of the river, and I actually sat and fished it. There's a couple places I would love to get to that I've marked on Google Maps, but it's they're all blocked off by no trespassing signs. That line's shaking. We might be getting something. Rod tip's not bending. There's not much wind blowing against that line either. So either some leaves are caught on the line making it sway. Yeah, I'm close to the Ohio, Terry. I'm only a couple miles from the Ohio. I'm by Edgewater. Edgewater's right over those trees. The Eagle's Nest is a good spot if you guys have ever seen us. Really? I just threw my net over there. Eagle's Nest is a great spot. Done some videos and streams there. Underneath the train bridge, a little bit farther downstream is a good spot. I've streamed there. Right in the heart of Hamilton, under the High Street Bridge and around the dams are good spots if you live around here and looking for somewhere to try. The Ohio River itself, is a good place to go, even right downtown. People have caught some great fish at the public landing. Across from the public landing at the Licking River mouth, by Joe's Crab Shack in Newport. There's all kinds of good places to fish. So if you're looking for new spots like this, doesn't matter what state you're in, look at any body of water without the satellite view to try to find the main rivers and stuff, because it's harder to see on satellite view. But once you kind of figure out what area you want to look at, turn on your satellite view so you can see how the roads and the banks and stuff look, and you can see if there's sandbars and stuff and cover. And you can even go as far as look at the street view, zoom in on the street 360 street view, and comb around on the street view. And that's how I found this place and seen that there was a place to pull over on the side of the road. Otherwise I would have had to park at a gas station about a quarter mile away and walk back up here, and I wasn't about to do that. But this particular spot here has room for 2 vehicles to park, and you might even fare better if you had a all-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive vehicle. Hopefully my Malibu gets back up. You just gotta hop a little like 3-inch thick curb to get out of the gravel and back up onto the main road. I think I shouldn't have a problem with that. And just check your street views and your satellite views, and you can see new areas and check new lakes, river systems, creek inlets. Don't let the creeks fool you either. You can catch big flatheads in real small water. I forget who said it in the stream. They seen something big, 60 or 70 something pound flathead, 2.5 feet of water. There's a video on YouTube of a 80-pound flathead noodled out of a foot of water under some wood like that. They noodled it to catch it, but it was an 80-pound flathead sitting in a foot of water. Flatheads will sit in this shallow stuff. They don't care. They sit along the rocks, around current breaks, wait for stuff to float by, and they grab it. And they got these little dens in these undercut banks. I don't know if you could see that in front of this tree right there. There's an undercut bank. So it's actually probably deeper on that side of the river for some odd reason, even though this is an outside bend. I would dare to say that there's some really deep spots over there. Time is it? It's almost 2 o'clock. Let's see here. Clearing some of my notifications. Yep, we're still here, Mike. Nothing else caught yet. I'm about out of bait, and the bait is teasing me. I tried throwing my net there, couldn't catch nothing. And bait's jumping where I was throwing my net. Haven't got my other rod back. I would say this is only about 5 foot here. My head probably wouldn't go under the water, but I'm not risking it. Not worth drowning. We'll give this about another 10 minutes or so. We'll probably wrap it up about 2 o'clock. Give myself time to get back up to the car, make sure I can get the car back on the road, and get me something cold to drink. Because, man, am I parched. I'm at 12% battery and I ain't got my battery pack. But it'll make a good little quick clip. I can go back and download this stream and edit it, and that was loud. And I can make it into a funny little blooper video. Whoa, crawdad. You would make good bait, little man. I'll walk in creeks barefoot. Just because I can see what I'm stepping into, but whoa, I'm not doing it barefoot here. Step on something really sharp like a piece of rebar. It's all covered in rust. Have to go get a tetanus shot. Step on a sharp rock, make me reflex, lose my balance, fall in, get caught by an undercurrent. It's not worth it. I don't think we're gonna get the same luck, guys. Hope you guys are enjoying the show, though. Boy, is it hot. Good thing I got my nice breathable whisker sticks hat on. Keep the sun out of my eyes. Can still feel the wind blowing in the back of my head through the mesh. We got the larges in stock, by the way, on the website. We got, I think, 8 left. 7 or 8 left. So if you guys want to grab one of those, go hop on the website and get it. $20 plus shipping. And if you order anything over $50 total, you get free shipping. I would say the cold weather is upon us to go check out the hoodies, but it's not exactly cold right now. But we do have the hoodies on sale. They're on the website. Again, they come in 11 different colors. And they're $39.99. I gotta stand up for a minute. $39.99, 11 different colors. The shirts are now in 12 different colors instead of just the 3. Those meds are pretty big. Not fair. It's like the river is making fun of me now. Teasing me with bites. Baits jumping everywhere. When I threw my net, it was nowhere to be found. Hopefully the sun stays away for a couple minutes. This will be a great place to come on a boat. So if anybody's got a small boat they want to bring down here sometime, come give it a shot. There's a carp. Go hit that bank. Looks like it's got steep banks on both ends, so there's probably steep holes and it's probably shallow in the middle. But all that wood, even down there, that's Flathead heaven. I would love to be where that root wad's sticking out of the wall there. There's not enough room for me to throw that hard. I probably have just enough line on my spool too. I don't have my line maxed out with, I don't have my spool maxed out with line. Call Steve Douglas. I got his number. I don't think he'd want to bring his big boat up here though. It'd be nice to fish with him. I don't see that happening anytime soon. Stuff jumping everywhere. Alright, I'm going to try to reel this in without snagging. We'll put it in one last spot before we go. Because I got 10% battery. And I don't want it to die while I'm streaming. I don't break off. That one snagged in there pretty good. Caught a snag a couple times. It broke off. It broke off. Let's see what my battery is here. 7%. And that's going kind of quick. Well, guys, instead of re-rigging and throwing it back out there and having another senseless snag, I'm gonna go ahead and probably call it, head back up to the car. Hopefully we'll get to do this again real soon. We do have a couple of videos that we're in the middle of editing, and I'll probably turn this one into a video too of a clip of the 44 pounder. And we'll have that to come out soon too. We got a couple videos coming out, so if you're not subscribed, hopefully you do. And you can see it when it comes out. Make sure you have that bell notification on so you're notified as soon as it shows up. Great live feed. Have a great day. Thanks, Jeffrey. Tried to give you guys some new action. I didn't know what to expect when we came here. This is a brand new spot to me. It's my first time here. But I think we did all right. Aside from losing a rod in the middle of it, we had a casualty. But it was a trade-off because I got a new personal best flathead. Not too bad. You can always get another rod, but it's not every day you catch a fish that big. Not around here. That's the biggest fish I've ever seen in this river system. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. We had 22 thumbs up at the end. Thanks for sharing if you shared. And we appreciate you guys if you subscribe. Don't forget to check out our Instagram and our Facebook page. And maybe go give our website a visit too. whiskersticksfishing.com. See if you guys like some of our gear. We all month long for October, we have a sale on the pink lights for breast cancer awareness, so go check that out. Any pack of pink lights is $1.50 off. And we're also doing a discontinuance sale of $1.50 off on the purple, orange, and UV colors too, for $1.50 off every pack. Cat rags are also on sale too, so go check those products out. Let me know what you think of them. And until then, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.